Hey artists, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be working on my 17th painting in my 30 paintings in 30 days challenge. I'm wrapping around my list of animal subjects that I'm painting for this, so we are going to be painting another snake today. So what I wanted to talk about today is why oil paints can seem so intimidating. Now, this topic is a little tender to my heart because I found them super intimidating for way too long. Therefore, I avoided them for way too long. And you might be feeling the same thing. You might watch artists like myself painting with oils and think to yourself that, oh man, that would be so nice to be able to paint with them, but you've got this voice in your head that's giving you objections for why you shouldn't be painting with oil paints. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that today. So the two main reasons that kind of held me back for so long for painting with oils is two things. That they tend to have a really bad rap for being toxic and the dry time. Those were my two big things. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So first one is they can definitely have a bit of a bad rap for being toxic. And yeah, some pigments are actually more toxic. Cadmium paints, they are known for being relatively toxic, and some oils that contain lead, so for instance some of the whites like lead white can be more toxic. But what's really nice now is that these modern brands that make oil paints are often making paints, for instance like replacing cadmium pigments with other pigments that are far less toxic while still achieving really similar results. So we definitely have different options now. And a lot of the risk when it comes to pigments can be when people mix their own oils from powdered pigments. So they mix it with linseed oil or walnut oil or different types of oils. They mix that powder themselves, and the inhalation risk there can be quite dramatic. But most people tend to buy their oil paints already mixed in the oil, like myself, so that definitely reduces that risk there. The other thing is that solvents can definitely produce harsh fumes, but modern day solvents like odorless paint thinner and even solvent-free mediums can hugely reduce this risk. Also, keeping your solvents capped when you aren't using them are going to prevent those fumes from going into the air more than they have to. I also happen to have an air purifier in my studio, mostly for my allergies to just life in general rather than my oil paints, but it's just a nice little thing that definitely helps. It also helps to keep the paint and the solvent off your skin, so you can wear gloves while you're painting, or you can just be really careful, and if you happen to get some paint on your skin, go and wash it off before it has any chance to dry with soap and water. So the other thing that held me back for a long time was the drying time. So yes, oils can take longer to dry, especially if you're used to working with a medium like acrylics or watercolors or even charcoal, pastel that don't have any drying time. Yes, oils take longer to dry, but you don't actually have to wait weeks for a single layer to dry. There are definitely mediums that you can use now that speed up drying time so that you can move more quickly. And some of the paints, so certain pigments, dry faster themselves too. So to give you an example, burnt umber tends to dry faster, which is why I use it a lot in my underpaintings so that I can get that first layer dry faster so that I can move on. Whereas titanium white and ivory black, in my experience, those do tend to dry more quickly. So knowing this can allow you to build those layers a little more strategically. All right, those are kind of my ideas on why oil paints can be intimidating. So hopefully that might have released a little bit of stress for you. And hey, maybe you'll give oils a try yourself. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.